This is a little bit of a quick devlog type of video. Now, I released a Mosaic Pro tool not long ago, probably like a month ago, and I got some feedback from people, right? And one of the things that somebody mentioned was like, to be honest, for that price, this is not that great. In the sense of like, they said that sort of like just one little thing, right? Although it's not just one little thing, it does have a lot of stuff that you can do. It makes sense, right? Because you want to build a tool that saves you a ton of times, and you having to tweak a ton of things again just saves you time, but not as much as it would. So I got the idea to build a bunch of pre-made animations for it. So this is how that process works. We have all the animations right here that have default pre-made animations that you can even modify later on, right? So if I go to the Fusion page, then as you know, this is how the whole crazy thing looks. But if I press 2 right here, you can see the 3D cam, and press 1 right here so you can see the other one on the left. And then here you can modify these from this panel right here or from the modifiers tab. So let's say I want to start the animation to be, instead of there, I just go to the X offset and then change the offset or starting point. And actually, let me know, it might be a good idea to change the actual labels from this one. Instead of offset, change these to starting point. That would make it easier for people to see it, right? So if I rotate these here on the offset again, and then at the ending point, you change the scale, which is what changes the amount of movement from that starting point to the next one, right? And then once you press play, the camera itself does that 3D move. Now, one thing I wanted to be able to do was to be able to modify the actual path that is created in the 3D space. But for some reason, well, not for some reason, because we're working with the modifiers that work directly on the duration of the clip that you have, or the Fusion clip that you have created with all the images and stuff, then I think changing the curve of that makes it a little bit complicated to do it manually from the viewer right here. That's why I cannot really select it and then change the points right here, because it doesn't really let me do that. But you can use the custom curves right here and then create your own modification of that. Let's say create a custom curve for this offset that changes. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the, there it goes. Now, as you can see, let me angle that correctly. That curve changed right here when you change the custom curve. You see? So if you want a more custom path, you can do that, and then that changes the whole way that the animation looks on them. So I'm building those animations. Now, I already have it in mind how I'm gonna do, because somebody asked, like, it would be cool to have transitions. Because one of the things that people like to do is to basically use these type of galleries as transitions, right? So it comes from that first image, zooms out, and you can see all these other stuff, and then it goes to a certain point and then zooms in into the next one. So to create those transitions, I got an idea for it to be a little bit more customizable, in the sense that you input a number and it just goes to that box instead of you having to manually do so, or instead of me having to build, like, there's 25 of them, right? So what I'm gonna do is set it up so that you can set the starting point and then also the ending point, and then find a way to be so that you are able to adjust the path or the trajectory of that camera movement, right? But I'm not sure, that's probably the next step after building these animations and then updating these for the people that already have it. That will be the next step. Now, before I leave, I just wanted to mention one cool thing that X Session built a while ago. So we've been talking for a while, and one thing that I mentioned was that it would be cool to have something sort of like Atom X in After Effects. And he said, oh, that's a really cool idea, let me look into it. And then he built it. Probably in less than a month, he built something really, really cool. And he just made a video on that. And it's a tool that's sort of like a directory, but it works almost natively in DaVinci Resolve. You know how I have DaVinci Resolve downloads that you can go and find all the assets there? Well, he created a tool that is basically like a plugin that opens. I think he already added like 200 tools and assets that he created and some other people created there. For the ones that he created, you're able to directly download into DaVinci and add it from there. And then for the ones that were created by other people, it links it to their sites and stuff so that you can download and find them there, similar to how I set up DaVinci Resolve downloads. So I'm gonna leave the link down to that tool so that you can download it and try it out to see if that's something that you want to look into. It's really cool and it has a lot of cool stuff that you can explore and try it out and just basically expand your creative possibilities. I think I guess you could say it that way, right? Because it has a ton of effects and stuff that you can just directly add into your footage and then see how they look like that from there, instead of you having to go and download a bunch of stuff and then install them and go through that process. So make sure to check that out as well, and I will keep you guys updated on anything that comes out on these and also on any new tutorials and ideas that I get for the other tools that I have. That is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one here in SUALVI. Bye.